Hello, hello. Welcome to this episode of the Rogers Radio Podcast. Thank you for listening today. Today, my guest is Bruce Terrell, a team member. It's been a while since we've had a team member on the podcast. We had Joey recently, but I'm just really excited to have additional team members on and to talk to you, Bruce, because you have a long history here at Rogers and you've had a couple different roles and great accomplishments since being here. So welcome.
Well, thank you for inviting me. I'm excited to be here. It's going to be fantastic.
Yes. And, you know, your face is all over the place on Rogers Facebook, and you just got some awards and promotions. So I'm excited to talk about that journey and get your perspective on how you've accomplished that and where you want to grow at Rogers. So let's get started.
Absolutely. I'm ready.
Okay. So I first like to ask about your background, because of course we know you since you started here, but I want our listeners to really get to know you and understand your background, where you're from, kind of what led you to Rogers Heating and Cooling. So tell me that story.
All right. Fine. Yeah, great. I was born and raised in Mississippi, grew up in Mississippi, spent most of my life there, and then through Sunshine Mills, traveled back and forth from Halifax, Virginia to back to Mississippi, where I was born and raised at. Grew up in church my whole life, just always been a country boy outside. Spent about 20 years in the dog food industry, approximately, give or take, and was just ready for a career change. So I come to a job interview or open interview, and about 3 or 4 months later, I had the opportunity to come to Rogers and was just ready for a career change and to do something different. And honestly, God, I wished I'd have done it 20 years ago, but I don't know if Rogers would have been here then.
No.
But wished I'd have got into the HVAC a long time ago, because it's been very rewarding ever since I've gotten into HVAC, and absolutely love what I do now and love working with people. I've always enjoyed being around people and with people and meeting new people, but just this career has really took off in that aspect as far as just opening up and meeting different people and working in the service department and being able to just grow as a person and learning how to set goals and just become better at what I do.
Yeah, and I've seen that. I remember the day you walked in to that open interview. I remember you sitting down there and you're like, I'll just do whatever. Just let me know what I need to do and I'll do it. And you started. Fun fact about Bruce. He started the week the world shut down from COVID.
Yeah.
The week the world shut down, we closed our office. We weren't meeting. We put you in a van and we're like, get to work. I don't know. See you sometime soon. Hopefully, we don't know what's going on. Protect yourself, protect our customers, and you just prospered from that. I remember telling Joey, we were at our house, everything shut down, and I'm like, I feel so bad that we have Bruce that just started and we're not there for him. No one's there for him. Is he going to last? Is he going to make it? Because we're not there to support him.
It was definitely an interesting transition because of when I started and everything that was going on. So it was definitely different, and it was a battle for a little while, but you know, I had the support that I needed, and it's definitely made a difference in my life for sure. But yeah, it was strange for a little while.
It's like, did I make the right decision?
COVID had just started. You know, you're knocking on people's doors and you don't know what to expect or how far to step back, or 6 feet or 12 feet. It was definitely interesting for sure, because you go into people's homes that you've never met before in your life, and the whole world is shut down because of a pandemic.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a transition for sure.
Yeah, and you have been very successful at Rogers, and just some of the accomplishments that you've had. You've gotten a training award. One year you hit $1 million in sale. So you are $1 million service technician, and You have gotten NATE certifications. You've gone off to training and gotten EPA certifications, and you're constantly learning and growing. And so many customers call in and say, I want Bruce only. And you're just an all-around great person. I'm honored to know you. You're a great team member to your entire team. You were just promoted to install manager here at Rogers. And so you've had a great success story since 2020. And a lot of it comes from hard work. I know that because I see that in you every day. But what do you contribute to your success here? What do you feel like has made you the most successful at Rogers?
Definitely hard work and dedication. And I guess the biggest thing would be just being open to change in your life and being open to growth in your life and being able to learn new things. I was 43 years old when I started here, changing my career completely, 360 degree or 180 degrees change in my direction in my career. Had no idea if I was going to make learning every day, and that's the key, is just being open to always be able to learn, always be open to never get to the point that you feel like you know everything or can do everything. Just always be open to learn. And when you knock on doors, and especially in the service department, and that's what we're in here, I mean, all we do is provide and do the very best we can to serve our people. And when you knock on a door, just be open to who those people are and be empathetic about their situation, and just go in there with an open mind, and just be a real person. Just be just be genuine.
Yeah. And you are that. And that is very important in the home service industry. And that is what we try to train everyone to be like here. And I contribute that to a lot of the success of Rogers. And you've been a huge help in that. So thank you for that. And like I said, you were just promoted to install manager at the beginning of the year. You started in service. You were going into multiple homes. You were a selling tech. You were very successful in your role as service technician. And then we bring you in one day and say, hey, you want to run the install department? Which is totally different from service. And of course, you accepted. But what has that been like? And what is your goal for the install department?
It's been a transition for sure. It's definitely something different. I mean, I've been in management off and on throughout my career in different positions, but this is a totally different realm since you're in the service world and in the trades with it. So it definitely makes it different. And it's been a pretty wild transition because there's always something new going on every day. There's always a different something come up to challenge you and to make the day interesting. I do want to say that one thing that's made me as successful as I am is the company that I work for, and them providing me with the opportunity to grow. And they push you to grow here. They push you to be better. They push you to be goal-oriented and know that the possibilities are endless when you really set your mind to it and you really want to work and be better every day than, just be better than you were yesterday. And that's all you can really ask. But that, as far as the transition goes, it's a game changer for sure.
It's different.
It's definitely different, but I'm excited about it. As far as goals go, I just want to have the best install department in the country, and just make those people the best they can be at what they do, and just train them and bring them up to the point that we're the best at what we do because of the people that work for us, and the people want to grow.
Yeah, absolutely. And what does it mean to be led by you? What is it like to be led by Bruce Terrell?
That might be a question for somebody else.
Describe yourself as a leader.
Or
your leadership style.
I'm definitely on the laid back side. I always have been, because I've always felt like people want to be treated in a very I guess people want to be treated like people, and not as an employee, but as a person, and want to be talked to as a person. They don't want to be, they want to be coached in the reality of it. And when something does go wrong, that you're there for them and that you support them. You're not there to just, bash them over the head with a baseball bat when they did something wrong, but just to be there for them. And if they call you, answer the phone. Just be the type of person that's going to be there for them and lead them through any situation that they get. and you know, I always have an open mindset. I always know that everybody's situation is different. Every person's well, every personality is different in every person, and the way they work, the way they learn, the way people learn is different. The way people um, learn from you is different. You know,
Yes.
everybody's coaching style is different, and everybody's personality is different. So you really have to try to learn the people that you work with and that's under your leadership, and just try to help them grow in the way that they can grow the best.
Yeah, and you're so right. And the install department is very lucky to have you leading them. It's a big department. There are a lot of moving pieces. There are a lot of people, a lot of personalities, and you definitely bring that. You can come to me leadership style, and that's exactly what they need, and you're always there for them. So I think it was a great transition for you, because you went from being there for the customers all the time, and now you're there for the team, and I can feel that, and I know they can. So I think you're a great leader.
I do try.
Yeah.
You know, I had a lot of great customers, and can't thank them enough for being who they were, and choosing us as you know, to help them in their HVAC and electrical needs. You know, I can't thank them enough, and especially for some of the things that they've said about me. You know, it means a whole lot to me, and that's just the person I try to be every day.
Yeah. And, you know, I know when we were talking to you about this position, we said, we need you, because we can't gain more customers. We can't maintain the customer service that we have without great leaders, and without really showing and teaching our team how to serve the customer. And so when we talked to you, we said, we just need you to bring that customer service that you brought to every customer and every home you went into to your team, and we will be great. And now you have the opportunity to really build a great team, and that's what's going to get us far. So I definitely see it every day. So you mentioned that you wish you had come into the HVAC industry or the trades sooner, and you came in at 42?
43.
43. So what advice would you give to someone that wants to come into this fast-paced industry?
Be ready. Prepare yourselves, because it is a roller coaster ride, so to speak, but it's very rewarding at the same time. Yeah, you work a lot of hours. You have to put a lot of effort in. You have to put a lot of training in. But the rewards are endless. You can make as much money as you want to make.
Yeah.
You can grow yourself and your family. You can, you know, just be open-minded is the biggest thing, and know that you're not going to get there in 6 months. It's not going to happen overnight. But if you dedicate yourself and you really want to learn the trade, and you really want to learn how to serve customers and be the best at what you can do, the possibilities are endless when it comes to the HVAC industry. And there's so many things that can happen, and so many avenues for growth, and so many opportunities for you to say, hey, you know, I never knew I could do this. I never knew I could make this happen. And if you apply yourself, you know, and you're open, anything can happen, literally, you know, and you can allow yourself to grow and do and be whatever you want to be. And I know that's kind of an old saying, but there's a lot of facts and a lot of truth in it. You know, you just have to be open-minded and realize that if you don't set goals, then you're never going to reach them. And if you don't, and that's one thing that's really changed for me, to realize if you set a goal in your life and you look at it every day, and you look at it on paper every day, and you say, all right, I'm here today, and tomorrow I need to be here. What do I need to do to get here? And if you really start writing those goals down and putting an effort to reach those, it can make a huge difference in your life, whatever you're doing. You know, whether it's dog food or HVAC, it can really make a difference.
Love that. And what would you say is your number one goal right now?
To completely change at this point. You know, things change daily around here. But at this point is to really grow this install team and try to be there for them and to make them the best install team in the country, and to make them, but at the same time to make them better people, and to help them grow as not only as a HVAC installer, but to grow as a person, and to know that, you know, you're not just coming to work when you decide to go to work at Rogers. And if you really have an open mind and you want to apply yourself, the opportunity for growth is endless in all directions, because we want to grow here. We want to grow you as a person, and we want to grow you as an employee, but we don't want you to feel like an employee. We want you to feel like you're part of the family, and that we're here to help you. And I hope I put that across every day to the guys that work with me. And you want to duplicate yourself. You know, you want to be you never want to get to the point that you feel like somebody's reaching for your job. You want to feel like, if I leave tomorrow for whatever reason, somebody can do my job.
Yeah, definitely. And it just makes me so happy to hear all of this, because we spend a lot of time together, and there have been days that we sit down and we're like, how are we going to do this? And what are we going to do? And I cherish those conversations, even though they're tough, because we have a lot of great conversations, but there are days where we're like, what are we doing? I have no idea what I'm doing or how I'm going to get this all done. And to hear you say that, it's just so true, because we feel like that, because we feel like we're not being who we need to be for our team. And we're always striving to get better so we can make them better. Right. And that's truly why we have bad days. It's because we feel like we're failing the people around us. And so to be with someone that is always trying to get better for other people just makes me really proud and thankful to be beside you. So I think it's just a big deal in this industry, because it is hard. It is grueling. There are long hours at certain times. But if we can sit here and we can always try to improve it, we're going to make the industry better.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, what motto do you live by?
That's a tough question.
Yeah.
I may have to think about that for a second.
Yeah.
What motto do I live by?
I mean, you're one of the hardest workers I know.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
As far as a life motto, I grew up in church my whole life. And, with God, you can do anything.
Yeah.
You know? And if you apply yourself and you turn those situations over to Him, and He has more faith in you than anybody does, and believes in you more than anybody does. But through Christ, we can do anything.
Absolutely. That was great. That's a great motto. I want to know, I ask this on every podcast, and I'm sure you know the question. It's my favorite question. If you could have dinner with one living person outside of your family, who would it be?
Completely outside of the family.
Completely outside of the family. They could be famous. Or anyone. Doesn't have to be.
If I could have dinner with anybody outside of my family.
Yes.
I should have thought about this question before.
You know I ask this every time.
I did. Let's see.
And this goes to show you, to the listeners, this goes to show you, he does not see these questions. And just a little fun fact while you think about this. So, I've told this story to Kenny. Hey, Kenny. Video in. We're going to get Kenny on the other side of the video soon, so everyone can see Kenny. But I have brought a lot of people in here, and I come up with these questions, and I do not tell people what the questions are beforehand. But when they sit down, I ask them, would you like to see the questions ahead of time? Because majority of the people have never been on a podcast. They don't know me. And do you know that every single one of the people on this podcast has never seen the questions before? They're like, nope, I'm good. That is confidence. And you were one of them. We just had
2 seconds before we started, she was like, do you want to see the questions? I was like, no, I'm good.
Yeah. And so just a little fun fact about everyone. No one has ever seen the questions before I asked them. And I just think that is amazing. So now, what is your answer?
At this point in my life, I guess, there's so many things that I could say. I don't know if there's just one person that I would single out. One person that's always intrigued me, TD Jakes.
Yes. He's amazing.
He is an amazing person. I would like to sit down and have dinner with him and talk about,
I had the honor of him at a conference we were at last year, and he was one of the speakers, and he just takes over the whole room, and it's so positive and inspirational. There were tons of speakers, Trump being one of them. How can you trump that?
Right.
But he did, and he is just a really amazing guy. That would be a good one to have dinner with.
Yeah, that'd definitely be on up there.
Yes. Sure. So we started from the bottom, now we're here.
One of my favorite songs.
Yes. And where do you see Rogers going?
I believe it's endless, honestly. We're always talking about growth around here. Just as, you said a while ago, we just mentioned this morning, how can we do this better? We had that conversation this morning.
Yeah.
How can we be better at this? And as long as we keep that attitude, and as long as we strive for that around here, yeah, we have bumps in the road. We have, we have people leave. We have people that want to knock on the door and want to go to work here. But as long as we keep that mentality and that aspect, and that, that in our, that vision, that type of vision, as long as we keep that, the possibilities are endless. We can change the industry, and we can have Rogers Heating and Cooling all across the nation.
That's right. And I've told multiple people this, and it is really important to me, because when we started this branding journey of Rogers and wanting Rogers to be known, face of Rogers Heating and Cooling, it's Rogers. It's not Alyssa. It's not Joey. It's Rogers. But then as we transitioned into departmentalizing, I make it very known to many of the team members here. I want people to say, I want to be part of the Rogers team, but I want to work with him, and I want to work with her. And whoever it is, whatever department they want to be in, I want them to come and say, I want to work with Bruce every day, or Dale, or whoever it may be in each department. I want to work with them. And so what would you tell anyone that wants to come work with you every day in the install department? If they're listening and they want to make a career change and they say, I heard your podcast and I want to work with Bruce, what would you say to them?
Welcome aboard.
Yes.
Welcome to the family, first of all. Fast, and because it's such a fast-paced industry, and the more effort you put in, the faster pace it gets, and you just have to try to keep up. And that's a challenge some days, but if you wanted, if that was what was said, I would say, be ready for anything. It could be a crawl space, it could be an attic, it could be 110 degrees, or it could be 25 degrees. But if you really go into it with the aspect of, I'm here to serve this customer, and I'm here to help their life be better when I leave, and to complete this job and do the best job that I possibly can while I'm here on this job, and to leave knowing that I've done the best job that I possibly could, then the possibilities are endless, and we can all grow together.
That's amazing. Thank you for being here. I love you, and I know with your help we're going to go really far at Rogers. So it's an honor, Bruce. Thank you.
It's an honor to be here, and thank you for everything y'all have done for me.
Yeah, and there you have it. Bruce Terrell here, just talking to you about growing and getting better and being there for your team and yourself, and that's very important. Thank you for listening to the Rogers Radio Podcast. I look forward to talking with you next week. Talk to you soon. Thanks.